Alright, super excited because today we're going to be doing another 2025 roundup video focusing on a deep dive on 25 different lip product formulas that I tried in 2025. We're going to focus on the formulas themselves, what stood out as unique, not so unique, and any shades that really stood out to me. As you may well know, I am a lover of sparkle, so a lot of the products that I'm sharing are going to be sparkly lip products, though I do have some that aren't as well. I think 2025 was a great year for lip products, and everyone's been talking about the way that fun makeup is sort of coming back. I've seen that first and foremost in our lip product offerings. Let's go ahead and get into it. Starting off with a lip product that has been relatively new to me, like within the past month or so. These are the lip balms from Hyruar Beauty. This is a small indie brand that is founded by makeup artists. I have simply not been able to stop using these lip balms since I received them about a month ago. They don't have a scent, they feel very hydrating when you wear them, and they have a buildable opacity. You can wear them all on their own or as a sheer kind of shimmer topper. The shimmer is very fine. It doesn't feel gritty in any kind of way. So far, they've come out with a few almost like kind of galactic feeling shades. This is the shade Nymphaea. And they also have a few that are dark and moody. The packaging feels sleek and it has a magnetic closure. Since this is their first launch, I know that we're going to be seeing a wider variety of shades in the near future. Now I have a couple of lip products I want to talk about from Rituel de Fille. Neither of the formulas are new, but they came out with several new shades this year. This is one of their classics called Black Locust, and this formula is very unique. It has a buildable opacity, as you can see in the swatch. I like to describe these as being somewhere between a lip balm and a lipstick. It has almost a matte finish to it, and you do get a little bit of transfer, but they also have a decent staying power. As I've come to expect from Rituel de Fille, you get a very unique shade offering. Everything from neutrals to grungy to deep and moody. These have almost like a waxy feeling on the lips, but they're very comfortable, and I feel like that texture allows them to have a decent staying power. Also from Rituel de Fille, we have the Thorn Bite Peptide Lip Oils, and these are a plumping lip oil, although I would say you really don't feel a plump on these, even in the slightest. They feel just like basically a sparkly lip gloss. This shade that I'm trying on is one of the newer shades called Midnight Glow. It was limited edition, and hopefully it's going to come back. But they do have many other shades. They have a buildable opacity. Some of the shades are very opaque. They have a few shades that don't have sparkle and a bunch that do. I have found that the pigment wears well on these, and even when it wears off, it does leave some pigment for a decent amount of time. These also pair really well with the lip sheers as toppers. They come in a really nice packaging, these glass vials. It's just a staple in the Rituel de Fille line, and they're always coming out with unique and interesting shades. Next, we have a lip product from Juicy, and these are the Glaze Rouge lip balms. I've talked about these in several videos. They are definitely one of my favorite lip formulas that Juicy came out with this year. They are actually quite similar to the lip balms like these that came out from Fenty, although I don't think they're intended to be a dupe in any way. The releases were too close for that to be the case. Now, Juicy has quite a few shades in this range, a whole lot of neutral shades and a few that are a little bit more colorful and have interesting sparkle colors. The ones that are a little bit more alternative are in these lilac sparkly packaging. They don't have any scent to them. They are around $20, I want to say, but you can find them on sale often for less than that, like more like around $15. You can get Juicy from a variety of retailers, including YesStyle. Also from Juicy, we have these Magnet Glow lip glosses, and they came out around a similar time over the summer. I feel like Juicy in general is trying to dip their toes into some more kind of alt beauty fun colors. And I love that because they're more known for having day-to-day staple neutral shades, which are beautiful, but as someone who also really enjoys fun and interesting shades, I love seeing them experiment more with these. These glosses were a definite hit for me. They are buildable in their opacity. I would say light to medium. They are quite sparkly, but the sparkle is small. You don't feel it at all, and it's such that when you're far away, it just makes your lips look sort of glowy. This is definitely a line that I would love to see more shades from. Just like the lip balms, these are unscented. All right, next we're going to talk about my top favorite gloss formula of this year, and that is the one from Mob Beauty. Mob Beauty started making glosses only this year, and this formula won my heart so fast. They have some more opaque shades, they have some sparkly shades. I love them both. It has a thicker, kind of more substantial texture to it, but not in any kind of goopy way, but it feels incredibly nourishing and hydrating on the lips. And because of that, I feel like it has a bit of a better staying power. Now, something that I really do need to mention is that the packaging itself does have a learning curve. The outermost part of the packaging is compostable, and I love the vision for that. You have to sort of squeeze it in order to prevent that inner plastic tubing from popping out. I think this formula is so good that I personally am willing to overlook that, and I don't find it to be that annoying at this point, but of course I do have to mention it. The next formula I have to talk about from Mob Beauty is the Soft Matte Lipstick. This shade that I'm holding was made in collaboration with Not Another Hannah, and it was inspired by Dried Blood. I like this shade because for me it's quite a wearable red, and it does have some vampiness to it. In terms of the formula itself, it feels incredibly creamy and comfortable. Now, this is not a transfer resistant formula. You will have to touch it up, but it's so delightful to wear, especially if you find matte lipsticks to be drying. A lot of the shades in this line have also been collab shades, and I love that because you really see a unique story and nuance to the shades that are offered. We have everything from concealer lip shades to shades that are grungy to ones that are more neutral to others that are kind of deep and moody. And finally, the third formula that I'm going to talk about from Mob Beauty is the Frost Lipstick formula. This is a new formula that came out this year, and I had the pleasure of working on one of the shades. This is the shade I designed, which is called Moonchild, which is a kind of garnet purple shade, and the Frost comes in 4 different shades. The formula itself feels incredibly smooth. It doesn't feel gritty. It is buildable in opacity, so you can wear these as a sort of sheer wash or really build them up for a high opacity. I really do love that this formula was brought back. I feel like Frosts have had a bit of a comeback. I don't think that they're for everyone, but as someone who really enjoys sparkle and shine, I just think these are a lot of fun. All right, as many of you may know, Cloudicos came back with a new release this year, and I want to say it's been probably like 3 years, something like that, since their last release. These are the Glass Load Lip Melts. They come in 12 shades. 5 of them are sparkly, and the sparkly ones are iridescent, so they can be used as toppers. I think that is a really great way to use them over top of a pigmented lip liner or another kind of more matte lip product. They come in refillable and customizable packaging. They're unscented, and they feel incredibly glossy on the lips. The non-sparkly shades are incredibly opaque, like full opacity opaque. I think if you wanted to wear them sheerly, you could, but you would just have to be incredibly light-handed with them. And by the way, I have a dedicated video on these, so I'm going to link it in the cards. Next formula I'm going to talk about is the Fenty Gloss Bomb, of course, and these are very nostalgic for me. This is, I want to say, probably one of the first products that I ever tried from Sephora. I do love that they're constantly coming out with new shades. The only thing is that it feels like all of my favorite shades are limited edition. This one I do believe is still currently in stock. It's called Gimme Space. It's a perfect neutrals with a twist. I absolutely love the green sparkles that run throughout it. We've gotten a lot of shades like this year in general, but because it's one of my favorite types of shades, I don't mind. And these do have a sweet scent, like a lot of the lip products from Fenty, if not all of them. This is still my favorite lip formula from Fenty. This year, Fenty also came out with their lip oil formula. Actually, it came out last year, but it was limited edition. This year they brought back the formula and created a permanent range. I gotta say though, for me personally, I'm not a big fan of this formula. It's not bad and I'll wear it. It's not uncomfortable, but it feels thicker on the lips and almost a little bit goopy. And don't get me wrong, they're still beautiful lip products, but the texture of these ones do get to me a little bit. I also feel like if you're not careful, they can kind of gather in the corners of your lips a little bit. For me personally, if I had to choose between this formula and the OG, I would go with the OG. The sparkle particles in them are maybe a little bit smaller than the OG, and to me, they don't feel gritty. The third and final formula that I tried from Fenty this year are the Gloss Bomb Shimmer Sticks, and these came out in the spring. They have been a huge success for Fenty. They've got a buildable opacity and a slightly larger sparkle particles than the OG Fenty Gloss Bombs. I would say the extent to which people feel them is different depending on who you ask. Some people tell me that they feel very smooth when they're wearing them. Other people have told me that they feel a little bit gritty. It does vary. The components themselves do remind me of the ones from Juicy, but the ones from Fenty are scented. So far, they come in around 6 shades. They did come out with this one in their How Many Carats. As far as I know, that one is still limited edition. From r.e.m. Beauty, we have their lip plumpers, and these come in these little squeezy tubes. I don't personally mind the packaging. I think some people kind of find that it doesn't feel sophisticated. To me, I find packaging like this to be a little bit nostalgic, but packaging aside, the products themselves are really pretty. The sparkle you get in them is lovely. They're packed with shimmer and they come in some really pretty shades, including the iconic Fembot, which is one of their kind of most popular shades in the line. Now, the plump on these is pretty strong. I will say that it wears off after about 10 minutes for me, but if you can't tolerate feeling a decently strong plump, then these are probably not going to be for you. All right, next we have a formula from Hues. These are their lip glosses. And what's really cool about the glosses from Hues is that the different shades from Hues come in 2 different concentrations. So you have one that is 70% pigment, so that one is more pigmented, and the other is 30%. If you're looking for something that has more pigment, you go with the 70%, and something that's a little bit more sheer appearing on the lips, you go with the 30%. The ones I'm swatching here are limited edition. These are the Cherry Cola collection, which are personally my favorite shades that I've tried in this line. What I love about the formula from Hues is how smoothing it is on the lips. Like, it doesn't only provide you with the shine and the gloss, but it also just makes your lips look so smooth. So in terms of gloss formulas that I've tried this year, I definitely feel like this one stands out as one of the more unique formulas. Next formula that I tried is Kiko Milano, and Kiko Milano I feel like is known for having pretty high quality products at an affordable price point. And by that I mean like price points just slightly higher than a brand like NYX. The shade that I'm trying on here was limited edition and it was part of their summer collection, and definitely one of my favorites. It is so ethereal. Some of their limited edition shades are a little bit harder to get because you have to order them from Europe, though they do also sell at Ulta and at Amazon, and I want to say they retail for around $11 or $12. And at this point, that's almost half of what a Fenty Gloss Bomb costs. So if you're looking for affordable glitter glosses, I feel like I have to mention the Kiko in this category. Next, we have a new formula to MAC this year. These are called the Dazzle Lip Crayons. Definitely not a formula that I've tried anything like before. They come in this little kind of pencil-like packaging. You don't have to sharpen them. They are retractable. These are a lot of fun. They almost feel like MAC kind of bringing back some of their Frost lipstick formulas, but in a different execution and packaging, and the formula also feels different. These feel comfortable on the lips. I like the precision that you get from this pencil applicator. One of the main gripes I have with these is that they are quite pricey. I want to say they're around the $30 price point. I feel like they should be maybe more around the $20 price point. But honestly, that's my main complaint. Next, we have the glitter glosses from Half Magic Beauty, and these are not new in 2025. I believe the first iterations they did for these are 2023. But Half Magic has some great glitter glosses, and I'm very happy to see that they've come out with some new shades in this range. The one I'm swatching here is Blushing Lizard. It's another beautiful neutrals with a twist, and it's named after their cult classic duochrome called Blushing Lizard, which is a blue-brown duochrome. This shade makes for a perfect matching lip and eye moment. They have a whole lot of neutral shades in this range and a few that are more alternative, like a pale baby pink and a black shade. Personally, I would love to see a few more alt shades like a blue and a gray, but Blushing Lizard has definitely become one of my favorites in this range. Also from Half Magic Beauty, we have their Crystal Butter Lip Balms, and these came out this year in 4 different shades. They have compostable packaging, and these are pretty, but they don't feel super memorable to me personally. A few people have told me that they become staples in their collection, and I do think they're pretty. Like, they look almost like very intense frost when you wear them. But if I had to pick one glittery lip product from Half Magic, it would be their glosses. These feel like lip balms that are comfortable, and for being as packed with sparkle as they are incredibly smooth on the lips. Alright, a formula that was new to me this year are the lip glosses from Hyruar. Hyruar is a Cbeautymall brand. They have quite a variety of shades in this range, and especially ones for the alt beauty lover. The gloss that I'm trying on here is their black gloss, and it is simply one of the most pigmented black glosses that I've ever tried, and no bleeding outside of the edges or lines. And if you want to, you can apply this one extremely sheerly, but you have to use a very light hand. This is definitely a brand that I recommend, and I am very keen to try out more from them in the future. Alright, next I have to talk about a brand that I discovered this year called Haunting Hues. And Haunting Hues has a lot of very unique glosses. This is a small indie brand. I believe that it's created and run by just one person. But if there's a unique shade that you're looking for and you can't find it on the market, I definitely recommend trying this brand. The shade that I'm swatching is called Sea Maidens. It's a beautiful neutrals with a twist. It's a deep kind of reddish toned brown with green sparkles throughout. Not dissimilar from Half Magic's Blushing Lizard shade or Fenty's Gimme Space. Next formula we're going to talk about is called Lace with Cherry. Lace with Cherry is another small indie brand. They are particularly known for their eyeshadows, but they have quite a range of products, and they've got several alt beauty lover shades, including a couple of holographic glosses. You can also get Lace with Cherry on TikTok Shop or directly from the website itself. Especially impressive are that even the holographic glosses that have a pretty obvious apparent sparkle, they feel quite smooth on the lips. And I want to say that the 4 shades that I'm trying on here are all part of the permanent lineup. Next, we have a formula from Sheen Effect, and Sheen Effect is a brand that I also talked about when I talked about my single shadow formulas that I've tried this year. They are a Cbeautymall brand, and I actually didn't know that they have 4 really pretty iridescent glosses in their line. These are so lovely. You can see when I swatch them how special the chrome element in each one is. These are definitely the perfect kind of shades to use as layering shades or all on their own, of course. The formula feels really comfortable on the lips. The only thing I would say is that these applicators are a little bit small in the hand, but I always got a pretty precise application with these, so I feel like that's a pretty minor gripe. Alright, this year, for the first time, I tried Lisa Eldridge lipsticks. I had tried other products from Lisa Eldridge, namely the eyeshadows, but this was the first time I had tried one of the lipsticks. This is the Rouge Experience Refillable Lipstick, and it's in the shade Toasted. With Lisa Eldridge, you get the whole luxury experience. As I mentioned, this is refillable, so you can pop out the insert. The component feels very heavy in the hand. This is a cream lipstick formula, so it's not transfer proof, but it's very comfortable. This is basically a perfect nude shade for me, though I think that it looks maybe slightly better with a lip liner. If you've tried this formula and you have shade recommendations, definitely let me know, but it's definitely a formula that I enjoyed trying. But I am curious about how it compares to other Lisa Eldridge formulas. The other lip formula that I tried from Lisa Eldridge are glitter glosses, and these came out around the holidays. They came in little kits, but I want to say you could purchase them individually as well. This was the first time I had tried glittery glosses from Lisa Eldridge. They are incredibly smooth and comfortable on the lips, which I'm not surprised about. I don't feel like the shades themselves are incredibly unique. Like, there are shades like these from Fenty, but of course, since Lisa Eldridge is a luxury brand, the price point is much higher and you can get shades like this at a much more affordable price point. They're definitely nice, don't get me wrong, they're just not standouts for me in my collection. There are some formulas, of course, that are very standout and unique from Lisa Eldridge, and one that I definitely have to mention is their Liquid Lurex liquid eyeshadows. All right, last but not least, we have a formula from Glisten Cosmetics, and these are their juicy lip tints. I definitely have been sleeping on these. I wish I had tried them sooner. I can tell you right away that these are going to become a staple in my collection because they come in some very unique shades, definitely for the alt beauty lovers. And these shades truly are made to last. If you think that you're just going to try these on to see how they look, think again, because these are going to stay on. I also feel like these would work really well as lip liners, but also as bases for some of these more sheer lip products. And that's exactly what I'm trying to show in my little demos here. I've been testing out and trying different shades with the bombs from Hyruar. These two formulas are definitely a perfect match. You'll have to let me know in the comments if you've tried these lip tints from Glisten, because I was truly impressed with these. All right, now that we've had a chance to go through everything, I hope you found this video helpful. I've had a lot of fun going back and revisiting the formulas that I've tried in 2025 and really reflecting on them and trying to provide that information to you in a way that's both helpful yet succinct. I would love to hear in the comments if you've tried any of these formulas or if you've been keen to try any of them, and what shades in particular are your favorites or that you have your eye on. Also, what type of products do you expect to see or are keen to see in 2026? As always, I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.